You're scared.
Yeah, scared
Dave is over there scared.
No.
This is real rock.
Fucking scared.
Listen. This is real rock music. Dave is scared of that
That's
shit.
not that. I mean, a lot of people like him. I don't care for that. I mean, that's like heavy metal. It sounds like.
I'm saying you don't understand.
I don't really care for that shit either.
No, that wasn't.
Dave don't understand heavy metal. Listen, right now,
Wake up, bake a cake up.
listen, that's what it is. It's rock music. Y'all don't know how to appreciate good music.
Man,
but
That's
some
not
good-
rock though. That was heavy metal.
heavy metal, rock, all the shit the same, man.
Not
Music
really.
is
That was some snort an 8-ball and lose your mind.
Nah, I don't know
That was
about
like mosh pit, like people banging into
Yeah,
each other.
banging into
type
each other,
stuff. Yeah,
touching
yeah.
each other, holding each other, shit like that.
when they do the mosh pits.
That's what that music would be for that.
Yeah,
You never been in a mosh pit?
No,
then?
I've never. That's cocaine, acid, shrooms.
I don't know what they're
Meth,
doing.
all type of shit.
Yeah, no, I've never been in one of those. That's
All type
not
of
my
shit.
jam. I'm not a violent guy.
But listen, right now you're now tuned into me, $1 million worth of game. We got the one and only, the legendary Dave Portnoy, you know what I mean, CEO, founder, Barstool Sports, all that other shit that's going on out here, man. You know,
Hey,
it's
Dave,
like,
so if they had the billionaire mosh pit, would you be a part of that?
I wouldn't be invited, but if they had legit billionaires, it was like fucking, I don't know, Elon Musk banging around, yeah, I would do it.
he would do it. He said he'd do it. He said he'd
I'd
do it
take
if
that
it's Eli.
invite.
Now, Dave, 2003, did you think you'll be here? Did you
No,
believe?
no chance. How could anybody? I mean, I've told the story a lot, but I hated my job and wanted to wake up doing something I like to do. But I never dreamed it would become what it did today. No.
Just the paper. You grabbed the paper, you went to some sports betting, you said, let me create my own shit. And one thing that I like about, I think for those that don't know, tell them how you finessed the companies, the local companies to get inside of your paper.
So when I started it, we had no advertising and I did it all. I assume you're talking, I put let's say I wanted a Morton Steakhouse, right?
Yeah.
I'd take Fleming Steakhouse, I'd cut their website, I'd print it out, I'd run the ad in my newspaper. So it said, Fleming Steakhouse advertising. Then I'd call Morton's and be like, yo, your advertisers are in our newspaper, you should compete with them. So I tried to trick people to get them that way. Then they'd call and be like, Fleming's or Morton's would call, be like, who ran this ad? And I'd just say the sales guy quit. I'm like, I don't know, sales guy quit, who sold it? So I tried everything to get ads in the early days. I mean, it was just me. It was me. It was a 4-page newspaper. I was doing everything. I'd hand it out at 4 a.m. I'd write, I'd sell the ads. I'd go back, hand it out outside subway stations at night, and then do it all. Remind me when we first met of you and your t-shirt hustle. A little bit.
That's how it's supposed to be, Dave. But no money involved.
Nothing. No.
No loans, no nothing.
Nope. No. I said I had a job before that, and I basically worked five years, pretty good, and then I stopped, got another job, and just didn't do the new job. I just worked on Barstool. Stopped that. I did go on unemployment for probably 6 months while I was doing Barstool, but it was all me. Yeah, no loans, no nothing. I owned all of it.
For those that don't know, why did you name it Barstool?
It was like the 10th name that I came up with. This is early internet. So it was the combo of what names were available for URLs. And I like Barstool. It's supposed to be like anything that a guy would talk about on a bar watching sports. So basically men's interest.
And so now you're doing your thing. When did you first make $1 for Barstool?
So, I mean, make money as in profit?
Yeah, start profiting.
I don't know. That probably took maybe a year or two. So I sold all the ads for the newspaper before it launched. I'd call up advertisers. I'd tell them what we were doing. And I was able to break even. I didn't need much to live on. I wasn't spending anything. There was no cost. I didn't really pay myself. I saved a little bit of money. But it probably took a couple years before we made anything, until I was like, maybe I can actually do this for a living. At one point, I took another job because I was married at the time. And it's like, this isn't working. We got nothing. So I took another sales job, drove.
Does your ex-wife believe in you?
She did. She was the best. But at
why is she your ex?
What's that?
She was the best. Why is she your ex?
We're still best friends, by the way.
Okay,
But at a certain level, you need everything, I guess, in a relationship. And we became best friends. That happens, I guess. It's a complicated thing. But you can become best friends with somebody without being in love. You love them, but you're not in love with them, I guess is what it was. So I went to this new sales job. At lunch, I'm like, I can't do both. And I just, at the first day one, just drove, never went back. That's the closest I was to giving up on it.
Now, when did you say to yourself that this shit gonna be, when it was all right, we're gonna go from this paper and start creating content?
Well, the paper was content.
I know.
So when I started, if you said
I'm
what's
talking about video shit like
yeah,
shit
well,
on-
if you said what's a blog when Barstool
blog, yeah.
started, people were like, I don't know what that is. Like
Yeah.
they weren't around yet. And then one day I used to literally, as I told, I was handing out the newspaper. I would go to different subway stations in Boston. A guy who took the newspaper, he grabbed it, and one day he's like, listen, I'm moving to New York City and I love reading this. If I build you a website, will you put the newspaper online? I'm like, yeah, if you want to do it for free, knock yourself out. That was the beginning of the website. So it wasn't like some grand plan, but once he built the website, that changed. I didn't have to wait every 2 weeks for the newspaper to come out. I just started putting content on there every single day. I'd send out emails with like random thoughts and shit like that. And it just grew word of mouth, but it was no grand plan. But that was a switch when we went online.
Now, how many people that was writing? Just you?
It started with just me, and then we had a group of like 4 people, early 4. And they all worked for free just because they liked writing. And eventually they moved on. And the next group of people that came in, because I couldn't pay them, I had no money, and it was bad timing for them. The next group of people that came on board are still basically there. It's Dan, Big Cat, KFC. Those guys all like, hey, we want to be part of this. So that was, I don't know, 10, 15 years ago.
All right, before we go any further, this episode of $1 Million Worth of Game
brought to
is
you
brought
by
to you by New Amsterdam Vodka. Now, life ain't going your way.
Shout out New Amsterdam Vodka.
Caught your woman cheating today.
Shout out New Amsterdam Vodka.
You thought your check was in the mail. You thought you was getting some money and it didn't come your way.
Shout out New Amsterdam Vodka.
It's distilled 5 times.
5.
It's filtered 3.
3.
If you speak Spanish, that's uno, dos, tres.
Tres.
For a clean, crisp finish. Smooth
crisp.
on the palate. And it's great for pre-gaming,
Pre-game is amazing.
Football, hockey, baseball,
Whatever sports you
basketball,
like.
whatever sports you like. Football, if you're, over in Africa or somewhere. And, it's the official vodka of Barstool Sports and the presenting sponsor of $1 Million Worth of Game. So when you're out and about at your local liquor store, make sure you pick up some New Amsterdam vodka. And shout out to my wife, the New Amsterdam Queen. Be at the house, with her girlfriends, breaking out the mixers, making cocktails and those things. So New Amsterdam vodka, when you're out and about, get you some.
Get you some. Now, Dave, so when they all them came, when did the pod thing come? When did
the what?
The pods.
The what?
No, the podcast.
Oh, podcast. So, yeah, basically, Kevin, KFC, started when we were still in different cities. I was like, podcast is dumb. Knock yourself out. You're never gonna make money doing it. It was early. I honestly said I didn't see it at all. I didn't see.
This is the same shit I told.
He told me the same
Yeah,
thing.
I didn't see the vision. I just didn't see it. I'm like, whatever. This is. But I always, as you guys know, we don't tell people what to do.
No,
So-
you just do figure it out while you here.
Yeah,
Bring
so
some.
they did it, and then I was like, all right, whatever. And then Churning Group was the first time I
Shout out
sold
to
some of
Turner
the
Group.
company. Yep.
Jesse Jacobs, Billy.
So yeah, they bought half the company. And when they did, we had a little more money to hire people. And Dan, Big Cat, was like, I want to hire this guy PFT. So I'm like, all right, do it. We have the money. And they created PMT, which just exploded. Like it became the
Yes, it
biggest,
did.
still
It's the
biggest
shit.
sport for
Yeah.
longest,
time
like
sports
running
show.
biggest. It just dominates the charts. And then that was an eye opener. And I was like, all right, maybe there's something to this podcast game. And we just
And what year was that?
2016.
Okay.
2016. And then we started adding them on. The hockey, we got Spittin' Chicklets.
Just kept going.
Yep. Foreplay golf. And then we just started looking. Obviously, we found you guys. I don't know if you guys know. We were very close. We tried to get, and I always butcher the name, Demiro.
Deuce and Merrill.
Deuce and Merrill.
Yeah. Like we were very close to hiring them years before you guys. We just start looking in pockets that we don't have, because we know what we do have and what we don't have. So in the podcast game just exploded. Caller Daddy.
But when you got Caller Daddy, how did that come about? How did y'all just found
So Caller Daddy, Alex was dating Noah Syndergaard. You know who that is?
No.
Pitcher for the Mets.
Yes.
Okay.
And he hooked up with a girl that I used to like
It's always
be with a little bit. So I
Go ahead.
knew who Alex was because of that.
Yeah.
And I followed her, and she put a little tiny clip of Caller Daddy on her own social. And I looked at it, and I was like, what the fuck is this? Called her in, met with her. It's like, who, you know what? You'll appreciate it. It was like, who made this clip for you? Because it was super slick, polished, edited, everything. She's like, I made it. I'm like, you made that all yourself? She's like, yeah, I learned how to do it. I edited it. I go, well, we'll hire you on the spot pretty much. And that's how that started. So I don't even know if there was an episode of Call Her Daddy before we hired her. So, and she brought in Sophia. I didn't know Sophia even existed. She's like, I do it with this other girl. Hired them both. I think they're $70,000 a year. Both of them, 3-year contracts, and just went exploded instantly. Like within a month, it's like, oh my God, we got something huge on our hands.
Why, listen, all right. So once you get into the pod game, like, because a lot of people, and especially in the black community, they didn't even know what the fuck Barstool Sports was until we came. Just getting out there, the visibility. Who do you say Barstool Sports audience is predominantly?
It's still predominantly like white middle class dudes that I think people would like bro-ish, but it's where we get the miss thing. It's way bigger than that. So I started this thing when I'm like 24. So I'm now 44. So people have followed me forever. So we get professionals, we get college kids.
You get them from all over.
We're all females, huge now. You guys, urban. I mean, we have like when I go through, when people ask like, what are you guys in? Like we have the biggest urban podcast. We have the biggest hockey, biggest sports, we have the biggest women. It's growing. TikTok, like. Pizza, it's crazy. I want people to know us every which way.
Everything, yeah.
Right. And it's been for now almost 2 decades.
Right. But what I loved about it when I came to Barstool and I went up there, it was like, yo, this shit is like, it is like go in there and create what the fuck you gonna create. Do what you want to do, and that's what's so comfortable about Barstool and the whole atmosphere and the environment. When you go to the office, it's like people just coming up with all types of shit. You got different pod rooms. You got equipment rooms. You got a bunch of editors over there. They're doing them arguing about sports. You got Brandon running around. You got all type of shit going on, and it's like it just was a great environment. Now, a lot of people, when you think of like today, a company, how much easier is it today if it's somebody trying to build a Barstool?
I don't know if it's easier or harder. There's more people clearly doing it. But there's so much more people doing it. It's hard to differentiate yourselves. Like, I mean, to come out with a breakout podcast now is far harder than it was before. And even if you look at our history, like we've developed what I would say is 2 of the biggest like female stars of the last 20 years. And Jenna Marbles, who people don't even know work for us. I don't know, she's fucking huge. She has a statue, Madame Tussauds, like a wax statue, and Alice Cooper, because there's less females, I think, doing social media. There's tons of fucking guys, so it's hard to differentiate. But you just got to be on to the next thing. We had a call the other day. We don't want people doing the same thing. You got to be different, you got to be unique, and you got to be talented. What we've always been good at, same with you guys, we will hire people. We hire people and just let them do whatever the fuck they want. And I could never, or anybody at Barstool, I couldn't do what tell you guys ideas. I couldn't tell Call Her Daddy. I couldn't tell PMT. So it's like hire talented people and support them and let them do what they want.
Now, Dave, what is the ingredients to a good pod, a good show? Because me and you was talking about some shit. You was like, I don't think that's really. What is the ingredients to a good show?
You hook them, but I mean, it depends on the audience on everything. Like it really, you just got to hook them. It's gonna be interesting. Gonna be different.
And people and brands, because a lot of people they just think they doing a podcast. In order to make money out of this shit, brands got to be willing to buy into you and want placements on your show. You got to have some real shit going on, because now with like the microphones, the equipment, anybody can have a It's
and you got to be authentic.
50,000 shows a week coming out.
The Call Her Daddy thing's the perfect example. That dynamic of whatever they had of 2 girls like openly talking like sex and all that shit.
They was raw. They raw.
And it hadn't been done. And then after that, I would get fucking 50 a week of people, girls, sending me auditions. They're the same exact shit. It's like, all right, they already did it.
You didn't want to do this before they done it. They made it comfortable for you to talk about. Because for those that never seen Call Her Daddy, these girls talking about gargling cum, anal. I'm talking about all types of shit, everything you can imagine, and they do it so effortlessly.
But it wasn't like we were going out being like, oh, there's this gap. And like with you guys, we weren't going out being like, we knew we were lacking, but we weren't. Hey, do this. It was Roan. Roan introduced us. He's like, hey, these 2 guys are really good. Whenever we hear that, it's like, all right, let's go meet them and see if they're good. I didn't know what the fuck you guys necessarily would talk about. I didn't really need to listen to a ton of your old clips. I watched some old ones. I'm like, yep, I get it instantly. Let's meet with them. That's kind of how we do it. But we're not, I don't know what the next big thing is. That's the number one thing people ask. Where's Barstool going to be in 3 years, 5 years? I don't fucking know. I didn't know TikTok was going to be around a year ago. Yeah. Everything moves so quick.
Yeah, but see,
for us, one thing we appreciate about Barstool is that, you know, we talk to all the companies.
A lot of them.
All of them. Everybody got it. Everybody was, we see the vision, you know, all the talk. You and Erica came down and said, what we got to do to get it done?
That shit took 4 minutes.
And got it done. Yeah. And then you look up, and because you guys didn't waste no time, you guys didn't bullshit, y'all seen some shit, y'all said that's it, and y'all reacted on it. Look at the value that we brought to the company.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Going out on the urban side of things, getting Kevin Durant, getting all these rappers, getting Floyd Mayweather, you guys didn't have no understanding that we was going to be able to bring that much value.
Do you think this shit was going to blow up like this, Dave?
I thought you guys are super talented. Like, it's hard to know. I don't necessarily know where you guys were before versus where, like, I know it's huge, but you guys are pretty big. I mean, I always remember that first time we met in Philly and all the white people come out to me and be like, yo, Dave, what's up? And all the black people coming up to you guys. And it's like, all right, we need, this is what we need to grow and get bigger. Right. So, but yeah, I mean, I thought you guys were supremely talented. So yeah, I thought it would be big. I really did. I don't want to say like it's not. I thought. I mean, and we
I
talked
believe
about
you
that.
because
we
you
talked
got
about
the
this
job
before.
done.
Yeah, you and like I don't call like the churning guys.
No, I'm gonna say this.
Like,
I'm gonna say this.
These guys are big.
This is what I'm gonna say about Dave Portnoy. I don't know how anybody feel about him, but the relationship that we got with him is a little different. It's just imagine this. You're not going to have too many people that's going to introduce you to Dave Plug, the people that put them on, the people that help, that finance Barstool, that help them to the next level. Dave gave them a call one day and said, listen, I think y'all need to sit down with Wallo. Shout out to the Sherman. I think you need to sit down with Wallo and Gilly because they're going into their own atmosphere. They're building their own thing, and they might be trying to, they might need the financial support to build what we got over here, and I think they could do some extraordinary things, and they might be outgrowing Barstool. This is exactly what Dave said. And Eric, and I was like, so I'm talking, I said, Jess, they called you and said that shit? He's like, yeah, they called us for that shit, Dave. That just goes for life. We locked in for life because it was just like, outside of whatever business.
If people do right by us, I'll always do right by them. And you guys have done everything that you said. The brand's always been repped. You're pushing it. The only time I get, like, we had a fallout with Call Her Daddy. It's like I felt like at a point they were doing us wrong. If you do, and people, this gets me in trouble a lot of times. If I feel like somebody is coming at me and it's not fair or wrong, you hit me with a feather, I'll try to hit you with a wrench. Like, that's just my mentality. Right. But if you're on the up and up, I'll be the same way with you or better. Like, I knew how talented you guys are. I know what we're good at. Like, you guys are a whole new demo for us. Right. Whole new. Everything's new. Trying to figure out how to sell ads, do everything. It's not the same audiences necessarily. So it's a little bit of a learning. And you guys, all this shit, it's like, even coming on this podcast, which I usually don't want to go on podcasts. Here's how my brain always works. I want to be in front of as many audiences.
Supposed to.
And you guys have still an audience that may be, who is this guy? Some may not even fucking like me because of things they've read or heard, which, I obviously don't agree with. But it's how to get as many people. I think most people who have sense of humors and like common sense, like you guys, like us, and I want them to be aware of the brand. That's what we do, and you guys have done a great job pushing it.
And because I look at it like this, Dave. At the end of the day, we know you, but a lot of people don't know you. They know you based off of, it ain't nothing like when you introduce people that you know directly to your people, because it's like, no, I fuck with this guy, and this is why I fuck with him. I don't know what you heard, because you're gonna hear everybody gonna have their different opinions based off. You don't know the interior motive though. Like, what's the motive of writing this ad up? Whatever it may be. So it'd be that basically what this shit be about. And it's like they don't understand. Like, one thing I like about Barstool is also like an incubator. They build shit. It's like an amplifier. There's a lot of people that have went on and doing big shit. Pat McAfee, a bunch of people doing a bunch of shit, big deals. Now, Call Her Daddy. I'm telling you, last year that was just like the talk of everything. They get to 50 million. Not Call Her Daddy, Alex Cooper.
Thought it was 60 million.
60 over 3 years.
It was 60
McAfee's
million.
getting huge. Like what you said, that's what we said. It's like when I started Barstool, when we did the investment, people were like, what do you vision at? I kind of always like, well, maybe a little bit of like an SNL where like we have this solid cast and we can help launch careers and, you know, hopefully they stay with us forever. If someone gets a huge deal like a Cooper or McAfee, like God bless them. Like that is, we want that. That's the model. So the next person who's coming up is like, ooh, that's a good spot to go, you know, build my career.
And a lot of people don't understand. For y'all don't understand, Call Her Daddy. Well, Alex Cooper got 60 and Pat McAfee got 50.
40 or
he got like
something?
140 million. These people that all came from Barstool. You probably don't know him in research, but Pat used to be in the NFL kicker. What was he?
Yeah, he's a puncher for the Colts, and he literally is like, no one would hire me. When he's like, Dave was the only one. It's like, yeah, he's a funny, unique dude, and we did the same
he's good.
thing.
Pat is a fucking legend. Yep. Now you got these two people that come.
You know
from the
who we
system.
almost fucking hired, and then he was trash us. You talk shit about him. He was in our office, but
He talking about Joe.
yeah,
Joe.
But no. I didn't talk shit about Joe. Joe,
Yeah, he did.
Joe came at us, and then I just had.
yeah,
to,
he came at us too. He was saying we're just a sports fucking part. It's like, dude, you're in our fucking office. You know that wasn't the case, but yeah, we were looking. We were always looking. He wanted a shit ton.
Yeah, he supposed to. Shout out to Joe. Now I'm gonna say this.
Are we all good with him now?
Yeah, we cool. Joe's cool. That's my brother.
This episode of $1 Million Worth of Game is brought to you by Coinbase. Listen, if you're looking to level up, I'm telling you want to level up your portfolio, your financial portfolio, it's always good to diversify. Why not think about cryptocurrency backed by the world leading investors? Coinbase keep your portfolio safe and secure while adding crypto into the mix. Listen, right now, what you need to do is, I'm telling you, you're going to get $10 in Bitcoin free. I'm talking about free when you sign up to Coinbase right now. Go to Coinbase.com/Dollaz, Dollaz. When you sign up today, limited time only. I'm talking about limited Coinbase trusted. I'm talking about trusted, easy to use platform, buy, sell, spend cryptocurrency. I'm talking about Coinbase. What are you working for? I'm talking about millions of people in over 100 countries trust Coinbase. What you need to do right now, you need to sign up. Once again, you're going to get $10 in Coinbase. What you need to do is go to Coinbase.com/Dollaz, Dollaz. Right now, when you sign up, you get $10. What's the name? What are you waiting for?
Now I'm gonna say this. They get 60. They get what's the name? November is a big month for us here.
I know.
November is a big month.
I know.
Let's put this on the record. We want to stay at
These
Barstool.
cameras probably aren't even rolling. This is
they're
probably
rolling.
just like a shakedown.
No, they're rolling. Trust me, they're rolling.
Now,
you see
November,
the lights on all of them. Our camera guy is one of the best. Shout out to Matthew.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We want to stay at Barstool.
We
I believe that.
So, one thing I can say about Barstool, man, is coming into the podcast game and, you know, going with Barstool and being through the process of, you know, figuring all this shit out. And there's no other place we would rather have came into the game than with Barstool, because Barstool just got the fuck out our way
and
let us do us.
Educated
us, but most importantly, got the fuck out our way. Said, do you? You know what I mean? And allowed us to run, chase the interviews, get the best people on the podcast, and really elevate and take our shit to the next level. You know, we be growing 400% every year.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? So for us, we appreciate Barstool. We appreciate Dave. We appreciate Erica,
Jen,
Deidre,
everybody over there.
Everybody over at Barstool who go out, get the ads, you know what I'm saying? And you know, fight to get us to who we are. You know what I mean?
Kelly.
So shout out to Barstool for that, man. But
and
we want to come back.
No, I know. And we talked about this on my podcast. Yeah. We want you guys, and you guys are probably even, I would say, more important to us overall than a lot of the other things we have, because you guys are different, clearly. Now that doesn't change the fact, Spotify, if they come over and say, here's $250,000,000,000, like people,
you got it, Dave.
Yeah, like people.
What do you mean? You got it.
You got $100 million.
Sure. Fucking, we're sitting in a hotel. I can't get my place done in Miami here. It depends how they come
Dave
in.
got a shitload of money. I'm just saying personally, he's running. He got about like 150 in his back pocket.
He started off Boston Dave. Now he's Miami Dave. No, he was New York Dave. Then he's Miami Dave.
Boston, Miami.
Then Philly Dave. He's
I'm
he's
here.
everywhere
I'm
like
sad.
broken glass. Man.
Oh, check out the new bar coming out, Barstool Sports in Philly.
Are you going to be at the opening?
Yes.
How
Yes,
about
I'm
these
be
guys?
there running the fucking tab up.
Are you guys going to do when you do the tag team, one in,
This
one out?
bullshit. It was a busy day, Dave. when we did that shit. Yeah, I'm telling you, that was a bit. Yo, Penn looked out. Penn is something. I never even went to none of the facilities yet and enjoyed myself.
The bar is going to be nice. The bar is going to be real nice in Philly.
It's going to be
Where's the location?
I don't know.
He don't even know, but it's going to be
I
popping.
know it's next to a place called Ladder. I know that.
It's going to be popping. Trust me. You know what I mean? But like, well, you know, November is $1 million worth of. That's,
So who is? Listen, we're going to try to keep you.
No,
You know better than us.
You're going to keep us, Dave. You got the money, Dave.
hey, y'all got the. Y'all
Well, I don't know. Let me ask you this. You think Cooper like the 60 million of like we got kind of close.
Well, how much did y'all? How much y'all get 10? Y'all get 10 million close?
Within Cooper?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we'll make Cooper leave though. They gave us 60. Y'all got the 50. Why she leave?
I think she got it guaranteed like up front.
Oh,
I'm not sure if that's true. But here's what I did.
A guaranteed up front. You mean to tell they cashed it right out?
Here's what I was worried about with Alex, to be honest. And I wanted to still work with her. But I knew Alex well, and we get along now. But Alex, like, it wouldn't shock me if she gets every guest. She's like she's like a female Rogan almost.
She's a beast.
Like she's got Kanye's fucking girl on there.
Yeah,
I think
she's a
she just gets everybody. But I work with Cooper. A year into her contract or a year and a half, which is still there, I could see her being like, I want to go make movies or something. So to pay all that up front, it's like an athlete. It's like towards the end, it's like, we're not that fucking big. Spotify
got it.
Yeah, Spotify was at a stage and they could still be where they didn't care about making money on these. They were just getting eyeballs, throw as much shit together, get as many eyeballs as you can. That was their model. We weren't there. And it's always with something like Alex. It's like, all right, there's more value for someone grabbing than keeping. You guys are a little bit different because, again, it's harder to replace you two. Like, I don't know who that would be in a million world.
Nobody.
Right. Well, you're going to say nobody. You're going to say nobody. Like, but for Alex, we have this girl, Brianna, Chicken Fry. She's starting to explode. She's on, like, a path that's, like, going up.
Well, is the path higher than you said a month later? Call her daddy was like, whew.
When
she-
what?
you know
Oh,
when they
no,
started.
no. Well, she's not her podcast. It's different. But she's doing these events. People are going fucking bananas over her. And Jenna Marbles was as big as. Do you even know who that is?
Jenna, I know that name.
No, you guys don't. You've been yesing me when I say it. She was like the first female YouTube like star.
Yeah.
Like fucking star. This guy's shaking his
I've
head.
seen
Oh
her
yeah, he
before.
jerked off.
She was gigantic.
No, I didn't. You're lying.
No, I'm talking about
What? She was gigantic. I hired her out at a tanning salon in Boston. She fucking exploded. We had a female site.
A tanning salon?
Yeah, she worked in a tanning salon. Barstool Sports, we had Stu La La. It was the same shit for girls. She went fucking mega huge.
I've never seen that at the office.
Who? Her?
Yeah.
No, she's gone before you came in. I've been
She's
doing
out
this
there.
thing
I know.
while you were in jail. I was fucking handing out newspapers. I've been doing this for a long ass time.
Yeah, but you know, like we going to when we sit down.
Where else are you guys looking at? Let's see the cards.
Let's talk. No, who looking at us?
I assume everybody. It depends what
Everybody.
people want.
It's a lot.
Everybody.
lot of
Then what do you
people.
guys want to do? Just keep doing podcasts or other
No,
shit?
no,
Like-
no. We're this is the whole thing, Dave. We're gonna keep doing this, but it's like not forever. And we're gonna build. We're gonna do the same thing y'all doing. We're bringing them a fucking. We got a long list. I got everything drafted up. A lot of people don't know about it, but my whole thing is I'm gonna be amplifying motherfuckers within our culture that don't have the bar.
So we tried that. We didn't try it, but like Willie Colon when he worked for us, that was kind of his thing. It's like we throw him whatever you want. It didn't go anywhere. That's a huge fucking vertical.
We might.
So who would be competitor? Like Complex?
No, we got. There's some big ones out there. There's some big people. You got Amazon.
No, I'm saying as like
You got-
a
you got-
competitor.
you
Like
got, like,
to
no,
me,
I'm just saying-
Complex is more like an urban version, kind of like us.
No,
Am
listen,
I
let
wrong
me
about
just
that?
say. Let me say this. I'm not going to say certain people names, but certain people.
Who you want to bring into your fold?
No, certain people. I'm talking about. No, not them. I'm talking about certain people. They don't know how to activate that checkbook. They got to be at that. So we got some people that know how to activate that fucking checkbook. and unlimited funds. So
You got unlimited funds?
yeah, we got some.
Can I get
people-
unlimited funds?
I can hook you up. I might. We might.
It's hard to compete versus unlimited funds.
No, but but it's also the bullshit that come with it.
Yeah.
See, one thing about Barstool is like, we messing with y'all and we say, okay, we know what we're gonna do. We're gonna do not just the $1 million worth of game show. We're gonna also do a whole network, build the brand media company. This how much we need, Dave. Boom, 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 boom. Let's partner up. Let's do some or whatever.
So who are you talking to for that shit?
Who I'm talking to?
No. For like what you just said. If it's like, hey, we need this from you guys, who are you delivering that message to currently on our end?
Oh, no.
no.
I already got the people that I can call. All I got to do is sit down with Erica. I'm just making sure all the infrastructure
Got
shit
it.
is right. All I got to do is call Erica. Erica, come in. All right, Wallo, I'll be there tomorrow.
Yeah, like I
what I'm
said,
saying?
unless there's something where literally somebody writes something that's ridiculous.
What's the
and they have
ridiculous
their-
number? What's the ridiculous number to you?
to give to you guys?
Yeah.
Put me on the spot here.
I got to.
For what? For what?
Because we
For what you just said of just you two.
No,
us
for the
two
podcast and the network.
in the whole this network. I'm going to the.
All right, so the money you're saying, part of that money goes to millions of dollars worth of game Inc. Like basically to
factory,
run the business.
Run the business.
That is kind of a blank check in my mind.
That's what I'm saying.
That's
what
a
I'm
totally
focused on.
different check than like what you guys are getting to produce this podcast and do that. That's a whole different ballgame.
And this is what it is, Dave. Is more than just. I'm talking about. This is shit right here. This ain't just no podcast. This is real live shows and all that shit. Like I'm talking about. This is for to go grab my 15 fucking cameramen and take care of that.
Yeah, but are you talking just you two, or
No,
you want to go build a ton of
no.
new stars?
I'm talking about. Okay,
We got people that we.
It's a Barstool. It's an urban Barstool.
Right.
is
Another
what you're
Barstool.
talking.
Barstool.
I'm talking about how you are great at measuring talent.
We got a bunch.
We feel like we have that same ability.
Yeah, so that.
So
would,
it's like they got a podcast over there. Their shit's doing pretty good, but they need to be amplified.
yeah, to me
Let's
that's
go
like
get 'em.
that's almost like an unlimited check.
And now we're running them through the
Yeah.
$1 million worth of game.
Yeah.
We break down some
system.
action. We break down the juice. You
Right.
know how they go. We
Right.
talk
Yeah,
about
yeah,
numbers.
yes, I know.
Put ads
exactly.
around it.
Yes, 100%.
Getting the whole bringing the whole merch, bringing up because I'm gonna be straight up. Some of these companies that say they represent culture, they not doing it right for us. I'm just saying this is just for us. There's different companies you got different, but they don't. As I'm peeping them, and I've been inside of the Barstool infrastructure, and I see how the different money, the sales, the merch. I'm seeing the different shit. I'm like, they not even doing that over there, or they not doing it over here. I know once we build this shit and we go and grab people, because what's going on a lot of times inside the culture, you don't have people like me and Gil to say, because me and Gil don't give, like we do this and all that, but if you see, we not on no Hollywood shit. I want to see somebody that's going to take our seats to be, this is a franchise that's going to be able to say, Gilly and why we ain't in the seats no more. We behind the scenes with some executive shit. It's some young people out there that I'm looking at, like, I'm like, Gil, this couple years, it's good. They're going to be this.
So you're envisioning $1 million worth of game existing without you two?
I mean, eventually. Absolutely.
I'm
Because
talking
we
on the
have we still might, because I love sports, so I might do a sports podcast. I might go out, get a top flight athlete that I fuck with. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man, let's get some money over here.
I get it.
But we see so many people that have so much talent.
So much.
They got the followers, but they just don't know how
The
to
infrastructure.
put
They don't know how to get this
all of
money.
that shit together. And that's when we come in.
Listen.
And say, okay.
I understand. You're basically
Prime
trying
example.
to not replicate, but do very similar to what Barstool is.
No,
Prime
we
example.
trying to-
Yeah, right.
Prime example.
Yeah.
It was some other athletes. Jen called me, Wallo. She said, you know such and such? I said, yeah, I know him. Were you trying to talk to him? She said, yeah, we want to get on the call with him. I made a call. I talked to these. I was trying to bring them over here, connect them with y'all, make some business, because I don't get in nobody's way. If somebody trying to make some money, make some moves, I'm going to take you to the money and get the fuck out of your way. I don't. And so after that fell short, Jen was like, it ain't go. We talking to Dion. Me, Gil, and Dion Saturday, we just talking, laughing, talking shit. I said, D, man, I was trying to make a move. Boom, boom, boom. He said, what? They didn't do what? He said, man, I said, D, and he was like, how did this shit go? Wow, this how I go, boom, 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 boom. I called you. Dave told me something. Get the fuck out. I think you and Gas was like, who? Dion. I'm like, yeah, Dion. I was like, I put all y'all on the text, said, go ahead, do y'all business, handle your business. A couple days later, Erica flew out to Dion, made that shit happen. So what I'm saying is, you got Dion. Dion's a Hall of Famer, but it's also other people that might not get the shot that Dion got because he's Dion that we able to see because we able to measure the future just like y'all did. Y'all measure the future and y'all respect tomorrow. Y'all like, damn, if these motherfuckers had a 10 right now, If we get with our infrastructure, they might be at 100 in this amount of time. So when you look at it, I'm looking at people, and I got this chart where I'm writing people down, all from the coach that do different shit. This girl over here, she do fashion. She get a show. She know how to do this.
Yeah,
this dude right here, he know how to. She a chef. So my whole thing is I'm looking at the whole board and looking at this big ass network of people. All you need is the facilities and infrastructure, because that's what I learned from there. Facilities, infrastructure, sales. You know what I mean? Subscriptions is different things that come to bring the finances from all. Just imagine if Barstool had the subscription base. Just imagine if the whole. So I'm looking at that. I'm looking at other models from other places, and I'm taking all this shit and I'm just doing my homework. So when I do make a call to Erica, like, listen, we need to really sit down.
So you want to do it in Philly? Is that you go based in Philly?
It'd probably be in Jersey. Jersey, over the bridge, coast of Philly. Where I'm talking about Fantasy Factory, everything. I'm talking about next level.
You're doing. Listen, when we moved to New York, that's what we did. We drove around Fantasy Factory. Did you say that like Rob Dyrdek? Is that who you're?
No, but what I'm saying.
But that was what the name of the show is. This big fucking thing. You put all these influencers in there, let them do. That's exactly what we did. And your demo is different than ours. Is perfect. And what we're good at, you're good at. And I think what it's an advantage for Barstool and would be an advantage to you. We let people do, like you always, what you guys run into. You have people, suits up top, who think they know better than the content.
I don't know shit.
And right, we just let people do whatever the fuck they want and hire talent and let them be talent. Right. So I love that idea. I love that idea.
But I tell a lot of people, and that's why, like Gil always be like, wow, you be on some techie shit. When I look at, my thing is, when I walked into Barstool, I'm gonna tell you what I fell in love with. You won't least expect it. I walk in there, I see motherfucking pussycat over there with that junk, all that bullshit. I'm like, pussycat. No, I'm going to give it away while clean that shit up. I walked around, and the place that I fell in love, when I walked past that fucking equipment room, this is the cameras, and then I walked past and seen all the motherfuckers back there editing. That's the most important shit to me. I'm with the funds and the funding to be able to say, you 15 shooters, come on with me. You camera guy, come on, I got the equipment. You editors, come on with me. You graphic designers, come on with me. That's dead. For y'all don't know, that's what build companies, media companies, content companies. Being able to have them and then be able to say, sales, I want you to put ads up against this shit that we creating over here. Build that shit up wherever you want to build it up at YouTube. Get your audience, boom, boom, boom. Get your proof of concept, digitally, whatever. It depends on what you're building, because everything is not a podcast. Everything don't have to be a podcast. Right. So when I seen that shit, I went in that, and I seen all them cameras in that joint. I'm walking around, looking at the cameras. Okay, that's what's the name? Okay, this. I go talk to that, or Steve and all them. Okay, that's that third. So I just came to Barstool, and one thing that I did, I studied infrastructure. I studied what this shit took to build a machine. I'm talking to Deidre sales. Okay, so I had billion meetings with the sales team telling them, oh, we might got to do this approach. Why you don't go at it like this? This should be so it's a bunch of shit that's just me. I feel like this, Dave, it's a vacancy for that. There's no jackass / Barstool for black coaching.
No, the closest thing that I said would be Complex is the closest thing that I.
But
can
they
come
too
up
soft.
With.
They too sooty. They too sooty for me. And that don't represent not knock on Complex. It don't represent the raw organic shit from the.
The only thing I'd say, everything you said is that I and our people know. Sometimes I take you need 15 editors in this as like excuse. You're a perfect example. This is all you need.
No, that's
it's
all
great
it needs.
To have the other shit.
No. What I'm saying is
you get this. You can make as much content.
But this is what I'm saying. I'm saying on the aspect as to create these shows and to put them on a level to where as though we're able to get more funding.
Yeah,
because
definitely.
I'm talking about the production and the infrastructure of the content.
But like the people you're looking at for talent, I never trust anybody. It's like, well, I need editors.
No,
they
don't need nothing. I'm putting this shit together.
Right.
Some shows on our network, they're gonna be based off a phone. I might have a dude, him, he gonna run around with you with the phone. He gonna edit that shit on listening. It's different people but I'm talking about when you talking about I'm doing this cooking show, I'm doing this comedy stand, whatever, all this different shit that's gonna be on this platform. Some of them is gonna be needed. Because one thing about this, Netflix. When I look at Netflix, I'm like, oh, I could do that. And I'm not saying that on the scale of Netflix, but I'm looking at bringing multiple different flavors of content on a platform that's even subscription based, or even that's what this shit is about.
You know, that's why I've never heard you say that. Not on a scale of Netflix. That's like the early when people are like, you guys will compete versus ESPN. It's like, no, like we compete versus ESPN. Yeah. You don't know how big it's.
I'm not saying. I'm just saying.
But you could.
At the entry, I'm talking about at the entry level. the funding that they got and the people that and they could just go buy shit right there. I'm not going to be able to just some people I'm gonna be able to grab and be like, okay, you done all this? I'm gonna buy that shit and put it on my network. I'm gonna just go out and buy shit because my thing is like me and Gil love doing this, but we sit back all the time and we got a big ass list where we sit back and we be dying rolling on the ground of certain people that don't have that shot. Yep. So you gave us a shot, you know, and we gonna go further, but it's like. Everybody might not get that shot because they might not be big as me and Gil that had a platform, but me and Gil looking at motherfuckers like, hold up. This dude right here
we could work
with these 15,000 followers, this girl right here with this 100,000, they the shit. Mm-hmm. Come on. And that's what I'm going to do. I don't care about
because they got 100,000, but and this person over here got 3 million. Why do they have the same amount of comments?
Right. Oh, yeah, I will always look at that shit.
Why is their engagement stronger than this motherfucker with millions?
The number one thing that and just walk around with the person. Yep. If you walk around with a person, people recognize that they're real. If they don't, they don't. I always used to say that early with Barstool when we were struggling ads or competing, I'd be like, just beg the advertisers, take them out with us. Just take them to the streets with us, see what happens.
Absolutely.
Because that
changes your mind when people
totally.
Like, Dave, because when we met with you, Dave, Wallo's the one. Oh, Dave, yeah, he does it. Blah blah blah. All right, cool. All right, meet with. We standing at 30th Street Station.
They went crazy.
Everybody's walking up. Dave, El Presidente. And
you back? I'm doing
I'm sitting there like, what the fuck is going on?
Same
like,
shit. That is the telltale sign, and it's when I can tell when our own people are starting to come up on the streets. It's like, all right, people are starting to recognize them. That means they're making waves. They're doing what they got to do. Like you said, it's comments. It's real because you can fake anything on the internet. You see it all the fucking time. Right. There's no comments. There's nothing. Right. But the other and merch. If you can sell your own merch, somebody's buying it.
I'm selling shit. Yeah, and it's like about understanding like digital, understanding ads, understanding just how to promote your shit right, and over servicing your audience, your people. You know, I'm talking about really taking care of your people, always taking care of the people that's supporting your brand
and being consistent.
Yeah.
See, one thing about us, we consistent on every aspect, on every our $1 million worth of game Instagram, our Twitter, my Instagram, his Twitter. Facebooks, everything is consistent. We wake up every day of our life and give up content.
And I think
that's what we live for.
And I think a lot of people don't do that because when you're looking at building something, you got to build and you got to have the people that's building it be a part of the whole system. $1 million worth of game, YouTube 760, TikTok 700, Instagram about 600. And then our personal shit. And then, I got a whole YouTube over there with like 120.
Yeah, you're looking at all the things you're saying.
All that shit.
That's the first thing I do on TikTok, because TikTok, you can get fake, I don't want to say fake numbers, but you can get millions and like no one knows who the people are.
Yeah.
So then I look, it's like, all right, are they going across all platforms?
All platforms.
On,
and that's what people don't do.
Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, are they on all of them? That's how all the things you're saying.
But because we looking at it like this, Dave. Once we go ahead and build this thing, $1 million worth of this big media brand company, I'm looking at it like, when we get you, and we got your trailers and we got your shit, we're running your shit. These people do all our shit. His page, my page, $1 million worth of game, this, that, all that. We running, that shit gonna be ran so many different ways and so many eyes on it and touching it and feel it to build this shit up. And we gonna keep building people.
Because I want you to be bigger than us.
Yeah.
Right.
Bigger than us.
I want to be responsible for when you blow and you, like you say, if you blow, you outgrow us, whatever. They know we was responsible for that.
Yeah, you guys, it is what we tried to build with Barstool. Right. That's what we're talking. It's just different demo.
No matter what, call her daddy. Barstool is responsible for that.
And I use the early analogy of the SNL, but when you look, they sometimes do their like old reunion shows, and you look at the list of like the talent who comes back to those. It's the A list of the A list. Like, oh, he was on that. He was. You don't even know, but they're like A list. That's what I viewed it as, Absolutely. And they remember. It's like, oh, that was my launching pad.
And that's what it's about, because at the end of the day, when I'm looking at this, there's nothing there. When I'm looking at culinary, tech, music, fashion, pods. All that right there. That's raw, organic, uncut. It's not no super edits. It ain't no super perfect. It ain't none of that. None of that shit like there. It's gonna be raw and uncut and organic to where though people be like, oh yeah. And there's gonna be something there for everybody. And that's what it's about. You know, when you create that shit and just create it organically and people feel a part of something, because one thing I know, like the people that we see when we on the plane, wherever they black, Asian, white, whatever they are, they got their hat on, they feel proud. I love you guys, man. You guys, I love Barstool. I love you guys, man. Y'all show out. I'm talking about all nationalities, and they just love it. And when you got people that's doing that and wearing it proudly, and it's something different, man. It's a different monster, man, when people come out and they just want to come out because they want to get around people that's real people. All right, Dave, when they see you or even when they see Gil, when y'all talk about sports, y'all talking about sports from a real bro perspective. Not no sooty, oh yeah, this is happening. Not no, you're talking about it with passion. We know that you love these fucking teams. You'll die for them. What I think is y'all totally idiots for dying for teams.
Well, yeah, we are.
Because I'm not going to do that.
Changed.
Y'all, yeah. You Rams. Yeah, we done it. We done it. You see my Rams won. Listen,
I did see
I mean, who's winning? I pick my basketball team later. Sixers doing good. That's my team right now. But what I'm saying is this. Y'all guys, when I see y'all on the couch snapping out, when I see you throwing your head, kicking shit, that's how every guy is that's how everybody is watching sports. You don't see that on some of these shows when they sitting there, and they just criticizing a player, criticizing every player. They just y'all got passion, and that passion connect, and it makes a human connection with every fan in the world that loves sports. So when y'all do, it's real and organic. And a lot of times on shows, we have this super produced, overproduced, where we're not getting real organic human beings that make human connections with human beings.
And I mean, boy, it's down. You just could be authentic. Like we've been doing for 20 years. You guys haven't changed. And honestly, it's what allows, whether it be me, you guys, whoever, people know me. Like they know what I've been saying for 20 years. It's like you can pick whatever you want, certain things, but it's like if you've been following, you know who I am, and those people go to war for you.
Yeah,
like,
they would die.
Come at you.
It
lets you be you. Like because we know the foundation. It's like they're not going anywhere, so it doesn't matter the winds, which way they're blowing. We've been the same people for a long ass time, and that builds a base that you can just do whatever you want with. Really,
he got different gangs too. You got the pizza gang,
all sorts. That's why I want to get on the show. You gotta. I walk down the street. I never know what people can say. Pizza guy, TikTok guy.
They know you for all type of shit.
Right.
Some people, you got some people that don't even know that you started Barstool. You got people. Oh yeah, that's the pizza guy.
Right.
Yeah, literally.
That's it.
Literally.
That's all you know. He eat pizzas on.
It's one of my favorite stories. A guy who was a big Barstool fan, and it's like his wife liked Barstool. She's like, I love these pizza reviews. She hated Barstool. The guy's like, I didn't have the heart to tell her it was the same guy. Like,
damn.
Pizza versus the other.
Now let me ask you a question, real shit.
This episode of $1 Million Worth of Game is brought to you by DC Shoe. The Menteca 4s, they're back. They got a little couple model, they switched it up a little bit, but they still stylish. They're doing their thing. DC, one thing about Josh and them, back 1990s, listen, they used to be up in Philadelphia Love Park. They was doing their thing. But now, for the past 5 years, DC has been on the journey back. I'm talking about, they've been on the journey back, using original DNA as a creative compass. They use it as a creative compass, and the brand rich in heritage, right? Footing a meaningful, I'm talking about, they've been footing meaningful collaborations. They're not playing no games. Listen, push your own story. That's the new campaign. The brand new DC campaign, because DC has always been, about pushing boundaries, pushing culture, pushing style, and pushing agents of change forward. So what are we talking about, man? From Steve Williams, my guy, to Ken Block, the campaign aimed to inspire creative and entrepreneur spirit in everyone by showcasing the faces and stories of electric mix of people representing our brand. Oh yeah, hold up, I got mine on. Hold up, we gonna get them right. Hold. See, I got my chuppies on. Wow, look at them puppies. Look at them, DC. What are you waiting for? What you need to do right now, go to DC Shoe right now, dcshoes.com, and get some new Mentecas. What you waiting on? And it's just like that.
Welcome to another episode of $1 Million Worth of Game Business Spotlight, where we bring to you people that's going, they out here making things happen, and they're going to give you game, they're going to give you courses, they're going to give you stuff that you could benefit off right now. Today we have Nicole Ambrose from Nicole Ambrose Real Estate. Listen, man.
Hold on, wait, Miss 22 million in a goddamn year?
Yeah.
Miss 1% in the United States of America?
No, in Georgia.
No, 1% in the world.
Come on, give me my credit. 1% in
1%.
America.
Oh, that's
In
a lot.
America, yeah.
America.
She number 3 in Georgia, right?
Absolutely.
Right. What you talk about, but she's in the top 1% in the whole United States.
Absolutely.
She's number 3 in Georgia.
Absolutely.
Like, you get it right, bro.
Listen,
You know what I
man.
mean?
Give me my credit. What we doing
yeah.
here?
And she's a real estate. What'd you say?
Mogul. I'm a real estate mogul.
Mogul.
Why you a mogul?
I'm a mogul because I do all things real estate, but more importantly than me just doing all things real estate, I teach people how to do all things real estate. So it's one thing for you to do it, it's a whole nother for you to teach other people how to do it.
Okay. Now,
Where you come from?
From Chicago, south side of Chicago, 83rd and Phillips, born and raised.
So before you was this real estate mogul, how did you get to this point? I know it wasn't easy.
hold up. You got to ask her the chicken test before she answer that.
What's
Chicken
better?
test.
What's better, Harold's or Uncle Remus?
Oh, hands down, Harold.
Well,
What are we talking about?
absolutely.
Nigga go out there and eat some chicken in
Absolutely.
Chicago.
Absolutely.
Fucking loser.
Right.
Before you was
mild
this
sauce on the side. Salt
mild
and pepper.
sauce,
What
they
we
got that
doing?
crack cocaine in there. I told you, man.
Yes.
I told you, nigga.
Okay.
Before you became this real estate mogul,
Mm-hmm.
I know it wasn't all peaches and cream. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
So being from Chicago, it was rough, coming up after I had my kids. When I really, really realized that I had to make a change, I was in the grocery store, I was shopping, and I was actually shoplifting groceries at the time. I was broker than broke. My daughter's father had went to jail, times had got hard, and we went from driving the fanciest cars, wearing fur coats and doing all of that to him going to jail and me having to shoplift to feed my kids. So I'm going through the grocery store, putting food in my baby stroller, and I get caught. So as they're taking me to the back, my baby had the biggest look of fear in her eyes. And I knew in that moment that I had to do something different, that I couldn't let her daddy be in jail and her mama be in jail. So I knew that I had to do something to change my life. So in that moment, I started thinking, what are the things that I was good at? So I wasn't really sure at that time, but I knew working for somebody else wasn't it. So I got into entrepreneurship. Fast forward, entrepreneurship led me to real estate. As entrepreneur led me to real estate, over the past 5 years, I've sold 375 homes. I was the number 3 realtor in Atlanta, the number 1 in the top 1% of all real estate agents in America as a black woman killing real estate.
Talk heavy.
That's
And I'm a
amazing.
black woman.
Talk heavy. We salute that, because before we bring a person on here for our business spotlight, we really do a background check on them, make sure they is who they say they is.
Absolutely. Google me.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. When we Googled you came up in the top 1%. That's how we knew that.
Absolutely.
Shit. You feel what I'm saying? But go ahead, Wallo. I know you want.
Now, how many people you got up under you?
So I'm with eXp Realty, and through eXp Realty, you can recruit agents anywhere in the world. So I've been with eXp Realty for about 9 months. In that 9 months, over the last 8 months, I spent that recruiting. So I have 170 agents under me across the U.S.
And how do they report to you? Do you get them game? How do it go?
Absolutely. So one of the perks of being under me as a real estate agent is that I'm not only a real estate agent, I'm an investor and a real estate agent friendly investor. So I teach every Monday. I have a class with everybody that's in my downline. That's what we call 170 people. So everybody that's on my team, I have a training class with them every Monday for 2 hours where I teach them everything they need to know to not only be a top producing real estate agent, but also how to make make money for them. I want everybody's money to have a surrogate. So your money needs to have quintuplets at the end of the day, and you can only do that by multiple streams of income. So on Mondays, not only am I teaching them everything about real estate, fixing, flipping, buying, holding, I'm teaching them how to do Airbnbs. I have a successful Turo business. I have 15 cars on Turo. So I'm teaching them about Turo. I'm also very active in the metaverse. So I'm teaching them how to go and not just buy physical real estate, but also how to go in and buy virtual real estate. So now they're in the metaverse, buying land inside of the metaverse and teaching them how to flip land in a virtual space. So when you come and you work with me as me being your real estate coach or in my downline, you're getting an all-encompassing agent that really, really understands real estate and is a real estate mogul.
So one thing about this, listen, for everybody that's watching, not only she's just giving a game up, she's going to get a game out to everybody. She's going to give everybody a free course that costs $3,500, right?
Absolutely.
Everybody that's on here, all you got to do is text 347. Listen, you text MWG to 347-429-6496. 347-429-6496. Nicole Ambrose Real Estate. Listen, man, text that MWG to, once again, MWG 347-429-6496. You're going to give everybody, you text, you're going to give everybody a free course. Now, as you say, these multiple streams, right? I come to you. And when I come to you, I'm on your thing, I'm one of your people under you. You saying you teaching me all this other stuff. Now, I'm just under you. Hold up. You help people get their license too?
Absolutely. So if
they real estate license, because I don't hear about a lot of people who had a real estate. I hear about people flipping houses, but a lot of people don't talk about the license. How do that go about?
So you can get your real estate license. What people don't realize is that you can get your real estate license in as fast as 14 days. So I have a real estate coaching course where I teach people who want to be aspiring real estate agents how to actually go and get their real estate license. Every Thursday night from 7 to 8:30, I do a free coaching class for people that are aspiring to be real estate agents. I started a Facebook page that I put all of the questions that are on that federal part of the test. I put simulation questions in there so they can go through and they can form study groups with people inside of their state so they can become licensed real estate agents. Because the important part of becoming a licensed real estate agent is you want to be in a position where when properties come on the market, especially in areas where we're trying to revitalize, stop getting left behind in these communities. And then you go to the communities and you're like, oh my God, I wanted to invest in that area, but I didn't know what to do. So get your real estate license so you can be in the forefront of everything that's coming in the marketplace.
That's major now.
Because you always hear people say, I don't got you don't need no real estate license to do. What's the perks of having a real estate license?
The best part about having a real estate license for me is we get access to information that other people don't know. And the thing that people don't realize is that if a person is a wholesaler, if they're fixing, if they're flipping, if they're buying, holding, at some point they come through a real estate agent, especially if you're in a city like Chicago. In a city like Chicago, you have to have a real estate agent in order to buy property. So a real estate agent, when you go get your real estate license, is going to help you eat multiple times because as all of those people are coming through you, you can do it. Can I get a people a quick strategy?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So if you're a real estate agent, you have access to, anybody really has this information, but real estate agents have the systems and the strategies to be able to monetize this information. So you can go to the county in whatever county you live in, and you can look for water bills where the water has actually either been shut off or people haven't paid the water bills in 15 to 24 months. You can get that information because when you realize that as a real estate agent that the water is cut off, or a person hasn't paid the water bill in 24 months, that means that property is probably not livable. And if it's not livable, that person wants to probably actually sell those properties. So you can contact those people and say, hey, I can put your property on the market and make sure that you get top dollar, or I have this list of wholesalers that are interested in buying it from you. So now what makes me different and stand apart, and my team different and stand apart from other real estate agents, is because other real estate agents are just going to the MLS to find properties that are for sale. We are actually creating our own inventory. So that makes us different from other real estate agents, because with those real estate agents, as soon as they sell the home or the property that they're selling or that they're listing, it's basically like them having a job. They work themselves out of a job. We have a whole pipeline of sellers that are ready to sell their properties to our investors. So we are really bossing up in the sense that we go Google information about absentee owners. We go to the courthouses and we get the list that I was telling you about. And more importantly, when a person is going through a divorce, we have relationships with divorce attorneys. Divorce attorneys don't want to come and just turn their clients over to you because you're not licensed. A divorce attorney is actually going to set up the person with that licensed real estate agent. If a person is a sports agent, the sports agent is not going to turn their client over to you and you just a wholesaler. They want to turn their clients over to a real estate agent. So it's really important for you to be a real estate agent, because a wholesaler is only going to wholesale. A person that's fixing the—
You're only a middleman.
Yeah, they only a middleman. You are actually the person that's controlling the show at every angle.
Okay.
Now, in this free course you're giving away, right? Once again, listen, Nicole Ambrose Real Estate, right? Text MWG to 347-429-6496. Right now, you're going to get a free course. What is inside
MWG.
What is inside of this free course?
So glad you asked. So my course is the one, when you see people that have a course out here, they either have an Airbnb course, they have a Turo course, they have a course on how you become a top real estate agent. Nobody has a course that's an all-encompassing course. I'm teaching you how to buy property inside of the metaverse. I'm teaching you how to do Turo. I'm teaching you how to do Airbnb. I'm teaching you how to go and find absentee owners. I'm teaching you how to actually go and find owners that live over 10,000 miles away from their current property. I'm teaching you everything that you need to know about creating multiple streams of income as a real estate agent. And I have packaged all of that up in a course. And I'm giving it away to anybody that texts that number. It's a 5-day course that I'm giving to people free.
347-429-6496. Text MWG. Well, y'all watch the show, so y'all know what y'all got to do. I'm pretty sure y'all texting that motherfucker right now for that course. Right, because she real estate mogul.
Absolutely.
Number 3 in Georgia.
Period.
Number 1 in the top 1% in the United States.
Google me.
Black woman.
Now, let me ask you a question. When you say about the license, right? So, if I could do I got to get a license in every state?
So you do have to get licensed in every state, but can I help you with the workaround with that?
How
So one of the things that you can do if you get licensed in one state, so let's say, for example, with my team, with me having 170 agents on my team, shout out to my team, all 170 of y'all. So if you have a team, if you create a team of people that are in every single state, the only thing you have to do now is partner with that person. Let me give you an example. So I have a deal right now. I actually posted it on my Instagram page today. It's a $500,000 house that's a lakefront property. I am actually not in the same city with that actual property. So I partner with somebody that's already on my team and ask them to actually go show the property, put the property in their name. I get 50%, they get 50%. And the only thing I did was make the connection. So I also have agents that are in Vegas. You're gonna see me post an apartment building next week where my agent that's in Vegas, the deal's a $2.5 million deal. I split the deal with my agent in Vegas, so now her name is actually on the deal, but I have referral paperwork that we put together through our brokerage, so now I can sell anywhere because I've got partner agents in every state.
That's major.
That's
so
big.
Because it was so crazy because a lot of times you don't hear people talking about the licenses and all that. People just do their thing because you can do your thing though.
Absolutely.
You can get out here and make some money without a license, but it is benefits of having a license.
Absolutely.
What you're saying, but you're not saying that you gotta have one in order to make moves.
Right. So you definitely don't have to have a real estate license to make moves. But why wouldn't you want to get that piece of paper? Because when you get that piece of paper, it's the same way. You're not gonna go to a doctor and you're not gonna go to somebody and ask them to put a cast on your foot or cut your foot off if they don't have their doctorate degree in medicine. Right. It's the same thing with real estate. Right. Real estate is a profession, and I think a lot of times you get wholesalers and you get investors, and I'm not knocking them because I'm an investor as well myself. They're doing their thing. They're getting a lot of money, and they've helped out, a lot in the community. However, why would you want to go to somebody who hasn't had the experience, the knowledge, and actually is held to a higher standard? Yeah. As a real estate agent, we're held to a standard by the board of realtors to say that we'll act in a professional way and that we'll follow guidelines, rules, regulations. When people are out here just free willy, a lot of times that's why you see people saying that they're getting into bad situations with wholesalers overcharging, doing different things because there's no rules and no regulations. Real estate agents follow a code of ethics that say that we'll perform in a certain manner.
Oh, okay.
That's major. Now, with the test, you say you take the test, it take how many days?
So 14? I took my test. I studied my test in 14 days. I went for 14 days to class. I did the accelerated class. That Friday,
you go on class online or do you go?
You can go online or in person. So now since COVID, most people are going online.
Okay.
And then you just have to do, like in Georgia, you have to do 75 hours. And then once you complete those hours, you can sit for the exam. And the exam, the craziest part about the exam, especially if you're here in Georgia, with the class that I have where we teach people about real estate, my class, we have a 90% pass rate. That's why I've been able to recruit at such a high level in my downline, because we are really coaching and mentoring people towards their real estate license. We're giving them all the tools that they need to actually pass the test, and my students have a 90% pass rate. Now,
before we get out of here, what because you've been through some stuff, did I know you never thought that when you was in the market shoplifting and all that you'll be right here.
Absolutely.
But everybody had them down moments in life. And we're not perfect, you know what I mean? But you realized that, you wasn't what you was going through and you came up out of there. What type of push would you give people that's out there that might be going through something right now and just, that's trying to get in the game? What advice would you give them?
So my biggest advice really is just to move and to do it. A lot of times we look at people and we look at successful people and we feel like those people will achieve success because they're special. They're not special. They're no different than you. The only thing that made them different than you is that they didn't reject the fact that they had the power to move forward. I'm no different than any other person that's a single mother out there. You're no different than any of the men that are out here. We're all the same. The one thing that makes us different is that we said yes to the change and we actually get up every day, put our pants on, put our skirts on, and get out here and go get it. That's the only difference. Get up and go get it. But most importantly, believe in yourself, because when nobody else is believing in you, as long as you believe in you and you've said yes to you, nobody else can say no to you. It's been so many doors that have been closed in my face, and I never in a million years would have thought that I would have had 10 Airbnbs, 15 Turo cars, 20 doors, 20 real estate doors, 10 of which are paid off, virtual real estate, just all the things that I own. I never in a million years would have thought that I would have owned all of those things coming from where I came from. But at one point when that thing happened to me and in my gut, I knew I had to change. There's nothing that anybody can say that can stop me, because I feel like if you can do it, I can do it too. You know better than me.
Man, that's major. Now, right now, I need you to do me a favor, everybody. Go to MW. I'm talking about text MWG to 347-429-6496. 347-429-6496. Listen, Nicole, Ambrose Real Estate, man. We appreciate having you, man. That was another edition, man. She's going to give you the free course. So make sure you text his number.
Absolutely.
That was another edition of the Business Spotlight right here. $1 million worth of game. Right. I just like it thin crust. I like it red.
You like trash pizza.
Top 5 cities in America with the best pizza.
New Haven, Connecticut, 1. New York City, 2. It's all East Coast. Boston.
Come on, boy. You cannot put
3.
Boston before Philadelphia.
Well,
Don't do that shit.
Philly
Don't do that shit.
You know why? Off the
Dave.
top of my head, I got 2 great ones in Boston, and I like the thin, like, bar pie. Philadelphia's got
Is they in the top
Angelo's.
5? Is they in the top 5?
Yeah, they're probably about 5. All East Coast cities.
You didn't say Chicago, though.
No, I don't think Chicago has great
What?
pizza. I like the deep dish.
You don't
But
think
that's not even real pizza. It's like a whole different category.
Yeah.
And it's very good. But I mean, you got to order it an hour before you go, and like you're not getting off the couch for 2 days. I mean, it's like lasagna.
All right. The sales of the one. Where's the sales of the one by? Off the charts.
It is. I got to get the pizza better. Like I'm not loving how it is. It's good, but it has to be better. But yeah, we killed it. We did, like, I think it's been around like 5 months. We did 2 million units or something like that so far.
All right, now, first of all, I want to give Dave props, right? Because a lot of things is going on. I'm gonna give Dave props. Sometimes by the time you see this, it might be already going on or not. It was a guy on the internet. Dave was saying some shit, and he was talking about the businesses in New York City. Dave said, all right, fuck it. Somebody challenged you.
Yeah,
yeah. I don't know the guy's name. He challenged, oh, yeah, fuck, what you talking, Dave? Fuck is you? Dave said, okay, I'm going to go raise some money for the businesses that was being affected during the time of the whole quarantine. Everything was locked down, because they was non-essential, so they got to get shut down. They wasn't getting the money. How much money did you raise for small businesses?
40 mil.
You raised 40 mil, gave away most of it. The problem was me and Gil got with him because a lot of African Americans or people in underprivileged areas and people of color, whatever, they wasn't filing for the money. How much money did you give away out of 40 already? I think it's 11 million left.
Yeah, we got 11 million.
11 million left. We're going to talk about that now. You gave away a shitload of money, but the applications, it wasn't a lot of black people. I'm sorry. Y'all didn't. They was giving away money. I'm talking about grants. It wasn't no payback. It wasn't the government. This was just Barstool Sports. Nobody was filing. We tried to tell y'all, foul. It was like.
Tried you guys?
Yeah.
I made a video with Damon John.
Yeah, how many altogether was it? Probably foul. Black people.
I don't know, 10, 20. It wasn't
10,
a lot.
20. I'm talking about
out of like 300 or 400. And we were just giving the money away.
40
Out of 30.
And by the way, we were putting them because we knew we were low on minorities. We were putting them at the top of the list. If they came in, it was like anything we could do to get ones that fit the requirements we were doing because we knew when people come ask, oh, you're doing all white people. It's like, we're trying. I don't know, I don't know how to make it up out of the thin air.
So he raised 40, spent, they got 11 left. So we're going to be getting together to give away about $3-4 million to businesses based off of the money that Dave raised, just off of genuinely raising this shit, and it's just sitting there. Because now, if you I don't know the requirements all together, but we're going to establish everything. We're going to have a website. You're going to be able to fill out everything. It's going to be simple. It's not elongated. Fill it out. And if you on there and you approve, we're coming to give you that fucking money.
Me and Wallo is physically pulling up.
Yeah. We're going to be pulling up the businesses.
It to your pocket like a rocket.
We getting the number right. Each business is probably be anywhere from
25,000 to 75,000.
But I'm talking about
and y'all know it's real when we telling y'all. So when we give y'all the information, make sure you apply. Soon as you get approved, me and Wallo personally are pulling up.
And we're gonna be we can't pull up. There's gonna be a lot of people. There's a lot of fucking places. We can't pull up.
No, we pulling up.
We gotta do some other shit too.
No, we pulling up.
And in Philly, listen, we be there. Dave might even pull up with us too. If we in Philly, the bar's opening. He only come up to show up the bars and shit. Stuff like that.
I mean,
and when we go to Philly,
we're living there.
And when we go to Philly,
so I don't know what the fuck
we got to take him.
means.
Listen, we're taking him to some. We got to take you to the place that we grew up off. King's Pizza is another pizza place I want to take you to. I want to take you to a couple pizza places down north.
He's going to say King's Pizza is too oily.
Yeah, he might say that down north pizza. I want to take you to some pizza places because we're doing some real pizza reviews.
Do you have Angelo's yet in Philly?
No, I'm gonna go there. We're gonna go when you come to Philly.
I've been telling you to go there forever.
Also,
best cheesesteak too.
Also, this. I want to say,
yeah.
No, Ishkabibbles, Larry's.
I've had Ishkabibbles. Angelo's is the best cheesesteak.
All right, well, this is what we're gonna say. For y'all that also don't know, Dave Portnoy also saved the red and turmeric market in Philly. It was going down. How much money did they need, Dave?
They needed, I think it was 75 or 100 grand. I think we raised about 250, almost overnight. Yeah, that was before the Barstool Fund. Yeah. That was that almost kicked it off. That was just somehow. I don't even know how I found out about it, but somebody hit me up, said they needed money. Our crowd is good at trying to help. They really are.
Right.
Yeah, that's what
what's so beautiful is that, we got Dave. He's the king of saving businesses. In November, he's going to save $1 million worth.
I don't know that you guys need saving.
No, we need saving.
I don't know that you need saving.
But I'm gonna say this though. The funny thing about Red and Terminal, when I seen Dave do, I was fucked up because everybody who live in Philly, they mom them went there to get some fresh produce, fresh stuff.
Yeah.
And everybody's connected to Red and Terminal in Philly. You done went there, the food, as soon as you walk in the door, open the food, you smell the food, you get, you buy something to eat right down, whether it's some pizza, whether it's a steak,
shrimp.
whether it's some.
I go there for the shrimp.
Yeah, shrimp, whatever it may be. You get some fish to take home and cook. And, he came through and saved the day, but it's going down. The Barstool Sports Bar is going to be there. There's going to be a lot of events there. In Philly, we're going to probably even throw some events there too. $1 million worth of game, but that's going to be the new headquarters there. You know what I mean? They got, I need an office.
Some live podcasts. Well,
it hold 500 people. It hold 500 people.
Fucking whatever.
It hold 500 people, right?
Get the whole, who? What?
It hold 500 people in there.
Yeah.
It hold 500 people. So it's going to be,
it's going
to be some events there. There's going to be some good times.
So we got to open it up with a $1 million worth of game party, man.
You might have a
party.
Do
that.
Yeah.
You got to write blank check. You got talent. I'm telling you, the number one thing you guys whole bang your heads out with this whole vision. Find talent, managing talent, pain in the ass. Pain in the ass.
I know.
Say that one more time.
Finding talent and managing them, pain in the ass.
One thing about this, let me say this.
So my least favorite thing of what I do with it.
But let me tell you something. I'm an expert at that, dealing with this asshole right here. I'm an expert with that. I got to change his diaper. I got to make sure. Now he's going to say this because I usually be the one on point. For the first time, I missed a fucking flight coming down here. He's going to say, "Oh, you missed flights."
I never missed.
I'm the dude that's at the airport 2 hours before waiting for him with all the equipment and everything.
I'm the guy that get there at the airport 40 minutes before.
That's stupid
I
shit.
call my people that work for American Airlines.
Just for the record, they wouldn't fucking text me. They were going through our PR fucking girl. I was getting texts being like, "Hey, $1 million worth of game. They're gonna switch. Can you come here at 11?" No, they want you here at 12. I was like, can't they just fucking text me?
No, but we know you Miami Dave now.
No, what are you fucking talking about? You got my number. I'm like, they can just fucking text me. I go back and forth.
Dave is Hollywood, Miami Dave.
Hollywood, you guys won't even fucking talk to me.
Listen. Hold up, Kelly Martin. This is your fault, Kelly. Fuck
it's
that.
Like
this
you're
is your
using.
fault,
it's like we're all. What are we fucking doing here? I'm
Kelly.
getting like I've never been scheduled like this.
It's
like
Kelly.
you guys got handlers.
Kelly,
it's fucking A. But I will tell you, you guys are gonna become the record label, and everyone hates the record label. When you do that, we're good at it, but people always. It's the same thing. You know this probably. When you blow up, Everyone wants a record label when you're nobody and you're going up the ladder. And then when you get big, it's like, well, we need the record label for it. It's like, well, the record label is there when nobody knew who you fucking were. That dynamic is this world, athletes, every fucking world.
They go crazy. When you first get them, they be cool. Then they go crazy. It's going to be something. But if I could deal with this asshole, I could deal with anybody.
Fuck you.
I could deal with anybody. But listen, Dave,
People gonna fucking hate this podcast.
No, they not. For
Yeah,
what?
they are. Well, yeah, I've seen your other fucking podcasts. You got guys falling over doing fucking leg shit.
No, we
but
talking about
this was-
some real
they
business
talking about
here.
real business
People,
here.
you know how many people out there? Listen, Dave. All right. If
What
you go,
percentage of your crowd do you think doesn't like me?
I mean, nobody care about that.
No, I'm not asking if you care. I don't care either. I'm asking you.
I don't know, Dave.
Because I see sometimes in your comments, if I'm...
You read comments, Dave, all the fucking money you got.
I do everything.
That's minuscule.
I'm asking you. There was a fucking question.
And then you talking about fucking 2 people out of 1,000 comments.
All right, so listen. This is why this is important, Dave. I go to what's the name? When we first started, we started on a platform called Buzzsprout because they grab all your numbers, your analytics, and all that stuff. Now, Buzzsprout. Buzzsprout. That's the name of the podcast network. It's
a network.
Yeah,
All
where you
right,
can upload your shit and put it.
yeah,
They put your shit everywhere. It's like a distro. So last week alone, 863 people started a podcast just with Buzzsprout. They could have went to all other so you got to understand. A lot of these people we share a lot, but a lot of people really don't know even how to monetize a podcast. They just think, oh, I'm gonna have a show. I'm talking about everybody got a podcast. If you go to the hospital, the nurse, oh yeah, I got a podcast.
I will say this, and this I could be wrong about it. I think you guys, just like how I was ahead of the game, like podcasting and the shit we're doing now, it's a white male dominated space for the most part. I think you guys are at the right time because, like you said, you have Complex out there. I agree with you. They've been around for a while. They may be more shiny corporate. I don't know anybody else doing it.
Yeah. No, that's what I'm saying. And it's like
I feel like you had, and no disrespect, because we shout out all the people that came before us, the Joe Buttons, the Norries, the
people that's coming,
and the people that's coming
big
after
facts, earn your leisure.
I feel like
white girl.
I feel like me and Wallo made the podcast space look easy.
Made it look real easy and doable for anybody.
You know
Where
what
it's
I'm
like,
saying?
oh, they two crazy motherfuckers done it.
Yeah.
I can do me a podcast.
Whereas though, I feel as though the urban, community really didn't look at podcasts in that light until me and Wallo came and they was like, okay, this shit is fun. They don't care. They unapologetic, but they give you knowledge. We could do that.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And probably the same with Barstool.
Changes everything, yeah. And I mean, obviously, even when we signed you guys, I saw like the ripples in the news, like, okay, there's real money in this shit. It's not just like a fucking game. You can make a lot of fucking money doing it.
People don't, I think, you know why? Like, I think people don't see the value in a person from Boston or a person from Minnesota, whatever, sitting there with a microphone, look like, oh, this guy just venting. Who the fuck is this guy? Why would somebody give this idiot some money? That's what people think. They don't look at it as a business. It's like, no, this guy got traffic. He got real numbers, and people want to put ads up against the shit that he's talking about. So I don't think people understand that point of getting from just talking to, like you said, Dave, you said some shit that made so much sense, but people never thought about it. You went and put a fake ad inside of your blog, which newspaper, just to be able to call another company and say, listen, you better get down. This is what's going on.
You slipping.
So the same way you do that, like, because at the beginning, like you seen, all we did, car dealerships, trucking companies, I went to them, they came to us. I went right to them after they start calling. Oh, I said, you want ads? All right, well, this is how much you'll get. You'll give you a minute ad, this many ads. And
there's no difference, and you'll run into it, whether it's male, female, black, white, whatever. Like when I've met talent, you guys, Dan, Alex, like Dan still fucking works his fucking ass off. Alex Cooper, whoever.
Dan's a beast.
When we met with you guys, it took 5 seconds to realize you got to want it. You got to be willing to be on the street corner. You got to be willing to go to the local. There's so many people who I don't know how they think it's just will like magically be bestowed upon them.
Absolutely,
it's the people who do all the shit that you're saying that end up being the successful ones. You need talent.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if you throw 87, you can't just throw 85, 95 because you want to.
Right.
But this guy, does he do this with all the big guests?
Yes.
The phone just going off like nuts.
He's a fucking idiot.
My fault. But listen, I will say this, though. I will say this. Dave, one of the things that you have and Barstool have is fucking Erica Nardini.
Yeah, she's the best.
She's
Beast.
a fucking beast. That's
Shout out to E Money.
Like that's what we're going to find to be able to put that infrastructure together.
I'm sure you've heard this. When Churn bought, I met 70 guys. 70. They had a recruiting firm. Didn't like any of. Nobody made past the first interview. I met Erica by accident. I knew right away. Right away. You know why? She didn't tell us. Kind of like what you said. She wasn't like, you have to do this, that. She's like, you guys have this audience. I don't know what we do, but it's fucking exciting. And I'm like, yup. Like, I don't know either. And that's how it started. She's the best.
And that's important, having somebody that can like run the ship. You got to, one thing I'll say about this, Dave, you know your fucking position at Barstool. You stay out of people's fucking way. And sometimes when you creating something, you got to let people be creating it also, because you don't, Erica got this. She know what the fuck. You don't say nothing to her. You don't fuck with Dan. And that's important. You ain't fuck with Jen. You ain't fuck with Deidre. And that's important. You got to get the team. You got to know what a team's supposed to look like within this content or a spy pace, pod space, whatever. And you just got to do your thing. But listen,
hear it all the time. You hire. We hired you guys, or we hire people for a reason. Yeah. Let them do what you hired them for. If not, what's the point of hiring them?
That's what it's about. And that's how you do it, man. We appreciate having you, Dave, man.
Absolutely. Dave gave up $1 million worth of game today.
Like, I will say this. This is the first time I ever been with like in different spaces. Y'all basically probably I'm talking about the two biggest assholes, and from like white and black. Y'all two be just getting on the internet. Let me fucking y'all just go fucking crazy in a whole different way. And people don't want to see y'all on the wrong side of the fucking tracks on that screen. Because you'll go in there, Dave will go in there and lose his mind. Gil will go in there and lose. I'm like, these are two same crazy motherfuckers. But listen, man, we appreciate having you, Dave, man.
Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, no problem, man. Once again,
I'm gonna go now, make some calls, be like, I guess we need like infinity dollars for Wallo and Gil.
Yeah, that's all. Infinity sounds good. Don't that sound good, Matt? You got a raise coming, baby.
For infinity.
But no, this is what we need, though.
Everything.
I'm gonna need somebody to come through and help us get a bill. All that is a lot of shit. We gonna talk about it though. But listen, man, we signing off. It was too much money talked about on this podcast, but that's another story. We out of here, man. Oh yeah, he worked
about that. My mom and aunts and shit.
Get off call, be like, we need a fucking truck. A bunch of trucks.
They were $500 million. I'm just saying.
$500 million. All right.
Fuck out of here. Listen, man, this $1 million worth of game. We out of here.
Just like that.
Right.